extreme reluctance, whereas troublesome means causing annoyance. So let's get on with the sentence. A가 아니라 B. It's not A, but B를 사용해 볼게요. But before, I want to leave a little bit of space, alright? Because I'm going to fill it in with something else at the end. It's not that A가 아니라 B. It's not that I dread. 정말 일이 싫다는 게 아니라 I dread work. But A가 아니라 B죠. But the weather, 날씨가 그 정도로 좋다는 뜻입니다. The weather is just that nice. The weather is just that nice. Now, I left a little bit of space in the front because there's something I want to add, and it is, don't get me wrong. Now, obviously, that's implied here. It's not stated. So this is what I'm going to start out the sentence with. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. 오해하지는 마세요. It's not that I dread work, but the weather is just that nice. So all together one more time. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I dread work, but the weather is just that nice. Now let's take a look at the next sentence. She responds. 아침 10시 38분. 지금 이 순간 갑자기 소나기가 내리기 시작해요. 아침 10시 38분. You could say it's 10:38 in the morning or simply 10:38 in the morning, but I choose 10:38 a.m. Now, I'm using this just because I feel like she's trying to document something here. 10:38 a.m. 10:38 a.m. And I think in kind of like a diary entry where you're trying to document something, specifics are really crucial. So I'm going to write 10:30 a.m. 지금 이 순간, right now, right? 갑자기, all of a sudden, 소나기, you could say showering. We call it showering because shower, when you turn it on, right? It starts pouring on you, right? And that's what 소나기 is kind of like. It starts pouring out of nowhere. But the word I just used is pouring, right? So instead of a shower, I'm going to use pouring in the sentence. Let's move on back to the screen. 10:38 a.m. 지금 이 순간. This is omitted because it's kind of, I'm going to omit this because I don't think it's necessary. 갑자기, all of a sudden, it starts showering. But I'm going to use it starts pouring outside. It starts pouring outside, and again, this means the rain started out of nowhere and it started just raining dramatically, pouring outside. Now, how does she continue on the sentence? 창밖을 보니 사람들이 비를 피해 어디론가 뛰어가고 있습니다. Now, 창밖을 보니 is when you look out the window, right? But here, I think she's kind of glancing. She's not staring outside, but instead she's glancing outside. When I glance out the window. Glance는 살짝 쳐다보다 이런 뜻이에요. When I glance out the window. When I glance out the window, let's see. 사람들이 비를 피해 어디론가 뛰어가고 있습니다. Now, of course, you need to start out with a subject, which is you. I see. 내가 봤다. I see people. People running. 뛰는 사람들. To get away from the rain. 비를 피하기 위해서 get away from the rain. Now, you could say dodge the rain, hide from the rain, but I just feel like this is just a nice expression too. Get away from the rain. So altogether, when I glance out the window, I see people running to get away from the rain. And so the guy asked, 사계절 중에 어느 계절이 가장 좋으시나요? 사계절 중에 amongst the four seasons 어느 계절이 제일 좋아하시나요? What is your favorite season? But we already know that there are 4 seasons out in the year, so you could just omit that and go straight into the question, what's your favorite season? What's your favorite season? And let's move on back to the screen and see how she answered. 요즘은 하루에 4계절을 체험할 수 있어요. Now, 체험하다, experience, 할 수 있다, I can, 요즘, these days. So, the sentence will altogether look something like, again the subject, I can experience all 4 seasons these days. I can experience all 4 seasons these days. And let's see how she continues on. 아침엔 봄, 정오엔 여름, 오후엔 가을, 밤엔 겨울. It's a very poetic way of saying things, but I'm going to switch the order a little bit to make it easily parallel. It's spring in the morning. In the morning, 아침에는 봄. Summer, 여름. At noon, 정오는 noon이죠. And 정오는 하루에 한 번밖에 없잖아요. So at noon. Autumn, or you could say fall. Autumn in the afternoon. Afternoon is it's a time frame, so you have to say in the afternoon. And last but not least, and at night, or winter at night. And that completes your sentence. And the reason, again, for me switching it around, it's much more easier to create a parallel sentence this way. So altogether, it says, it's spring in the morning, comma, summer at noon, comma, autumn in the afternoon, and winter at night. Now, last but not least, we're moving on.